This is the Insta360 X3, and after using this camera for a month, these are my 8 favorite features. While Insta360 did send me this camera for review, they're not paying for this video, they don't have any input into it, and they don't get to see it before I launch it. I have to start with image quality. Because Insta360 put new half-inch sensors in this camera, you still get to shoot 5.7K up to 30 frames a second, but with the improvements, you get 4K up to 120 frames a second, and because the new half-inch sensors are a quad Bayer sensor, you can shoot up to 8K time lapses, 72 megapixel 360 photos, which are really fun and really great to shoot. And on the image quality, one of the best things that Insta360 has done has given us the ability to control the sharpness. So you go into settings, really easy, you go down to video sharpness here, and it defaults to high. I recommend medium or low because it just gives you a little bit better or a little bit more natural looking sharpness. And then you're set and ready to go. My second favorite feature, which was the same with the Insta360 X2, but with the X3, is that it's weatherproof and waterproof out of the box up to 33 feet. And I really like this because a lot of the conditions that I shoot in, as you can see here, are not very friendly to most cameras. And if I don't have something that's weatherproof or water sealed, then it's not gonna last very long. But because this is weatherproof and water sealed out of the box, as it is like this with nothing plugged into it, then you get some really good, really durable camera. And I have to say, as far as durability goes, I haven't had a lot of time testing the X3, but the X2 I've had strapped to the outsides of helicopters and airplanes, and in one case it fell off of the airplane on takeoff, fell down about 120 feet. Camera still works fine. None of the lenses shattered or anything like that. Now that was probably just more luck than anything, but the fact that it's still going strong a whole year and a half later says that these cameras are actually very durable. My next favorite feature is the new screen. Now I really like the old screen. It was round, it was very responsive and worked really well even in pretty harsh and cold conditions, but this new larger screen makes it a lot easier to work with. You can easily switch between modes. You can easily get to the, let me get back over here. You can easily get to the settings and get through the settings. It's really easy, it's super responsive, and the fact that it's this large makes it actually really easy to preview and see footage that you've shot if you want to go back and see, and just preview the footage you've seen. But this larger touchscreen is just much easier to use and makes the camera a lot more fun to use. Now, I do worry a little bit about it being from a durability standpoint. It's that much larger, but overall, this is just a massive improvement over the X2. And actually, because I use these kinds of cameras as a behind the scenes camera a lot when I'm out filming and out shooting things here in Alaska, the new single lens mode on this camera is absolutely fantastic because now it works in 4K and it's really easy to get to. They put a button right here on the front that you just push and it switches to one lens. If you push it again, it'll switch to the other lens. And then all you have to do is push it again and then you're back in 360 mode. So that makes it really fast and really easy to switch and be able to capture those types of shots as I'm running around, whether I've got this mounted on my camera or I'm just running through the woods and I just want a single lens mode to be able to capture a shot of something that's going on in the moment, the single lens mode. And now that it's able to capture in 4K and actually in pretty good quality 4K, it makes it a really useful behind the scenes camera. One thing I've always liked about the Insta360 X2 and X1 and the original Insta360 cameras, this one definitely, is the form factor. Because it's so thin, because the lenses are so close together, the camera lenses are so close together, you get a very minimal stitch line. And the Insta360 X3 is no exception to that. This controls the stitch lines really well. Even when I'm in extremely tight quarters like the inside of a helicopter with this attached to my camera, there are places you can see the stitch line when I'm super close to the camera, but actually it worked much better than any 360 camera I've had up to this point. Well, the X2 is pretty much on par with this, but this I think is definitely an improvement over that in controlling the stitch lines. And that makes it a much more useful behind the scenes camera when you really don't want to think about what you're trying to frame or what you're trying to film and you just want to put it on a camera or set it somewhere and get good quality video out of it. This camera performs really well. Plus, I also just like the size. It's small, it's compact, it's really easy to carry with me, and because it has a good sized battery, the battery life is actually exceptional. So it makes it really easy to just throw it in my bag and have it with me as a behind the scenes camera everywhere I go. The next feature might not seem like a big deal, but it actually is because they've made some pretty good improvements to the audio quality. The audio quality built into the camera with the 4 microphones that are part of the camera is actually pretty good and very usable straight out of the box. So this is the built-in mics of the Insta360 One X3, but you take off this little flap here, and you can plug in a little USB-C adapter and plug in an external mic like the DJI wireless system or something like that. And then you get good quality audio from pretty much anywhere, any distance from the camera. And this is using the DJI wireless mic plugged in with the Insta360 X3. Overall though, being able to use this as it is like this with the 4 mics built in, the camera does a great job of handling audio straight out of it, and the audio is an improvement over past Insta360 built-in audio mics. Filming with a helicopter today, and also testing the Insta360 X3, which is fantastic. I just put it on top of my camera, I'm running around taking pictures of the helicopter, getting video clips. I figured this would be a great way to test out and see how this camera does for kind of behind the scenes stuff. Another great feature of the X3 is the new Me mode. Now it is limited to 1080 up to 60 frames a second, but basically you put it on a selfie stick, hold it out, and if you keep the camera level, it's gonna keep you in the frame regardless of what you're doing. So it's a really easy way to grab behind the scenes shots of you doing whatever you're doing, or if you're just running through the woods or something like that, you get this sort of great invisible selfie stick, shots of yourself out running around the whatever you might be running around. And then when you're using Me mode, or pretty much any mode, it's really easy to control the camera because Insta360 includes voice control. So all you have to do is say start recording. And the camera starts recording. And then when you're ready to stop the shot, you just say stop recording. And the camera stops recording. The voice controls work really well. It makes it simple to control the camera at a fairly close distance. Now, if you're using the wireless mic, you can control it pretty much anywhere because the Insta360 basically takes the audio input and watches or listens for those specific phrases. And for number 8, it's actually not the camera, but it's some of the accessories that you can get with the camera, which like this, in this case, you can put this on, attach it to your selfie stick, put a wireless mic on here, and then with the USB-C wireless mic adapter, plug it into here, and then you've got a wireless audio system that the microphone receiver itself, if you're right in the center here along the side like this, then you still get an invisible system, so you don't see the microphone or the mic receiver in the shot, which makes it really nice. I've always been a big fan of Insta360 selfie sticks. They've always been really nice, really easy to use. I think they're the best selfie sticks on the market. But they've gone and done something even better, and that's create this, which is a 3 meter or basically a little over 9 foot long selfie stick, which gives you the ability to just go absolutely massive distances, but it still folds up to really small, a very small and compact size, so you're actually not losing that much space, whereas before, really big selfie sticks were basically just giant carbon fiber poles. But this selfie stick here has been really fun to work with and really great, and actually holds up really well overall, especially in the cold because it is carbon fiber. It's small, it's lightweight, it's easy to take with me, so it wasn't a big deal to carry it with me in a lot of places, but this really has been a lot of fun. And of course, they have lots of other accessories like dive housings or a string, so you can swing it around you and get those Matrix-like bullet time kind of effect shots, and lots of other accessories as well. Insta360's made some huge improvements on the X3 over previous 360 cameras that they've released and other companies have released. But if you want to see how this camera compares to others, you're going to want to watch this video right here. As always, if you have questions, ask me in the comments below or join my live stream Wednesday nights at 4 p.m. Alaska time, 8 p.m. Eastern, most of the time. I'll see you again soon in the next video. Cheers.